Being an artist in Toronto is a blessing and a curse. We as artists give ourselves away through the music, but at what cost? For every piece of ourselves we give away, we lose a piece of ourselves. Most people don't realize the toll that takes on the mind of a young creative. To be quite honest with you, I'm sick of the nightlife.
Episode 14, it's your boy C-To. You know what it is, the number one podcast in the world. You know that. I have a special guest with me here today. We got Smooth in the building. Cocaine Cadillac. That's what we were just listening to right now.
What's poppin', G? Thank you for having me, brother.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. You know what? You and I spoke a while back, and I said to you, man, I would love to have you on the show. You kept your word. I kept my word, and we're here today, man. So I really appreciate that, homie.
No worries, brother. Appreciate you, man.
You got a dope little setup right there, man. Look at that little cup.
This is an ashtray. This is just a little espresso cup, brother.
Nice. Good night, yo. Saturday night, we vibing. So Smooth is a recording artist, producer from Toronto, Canada. He has actively been pursuing his music career, has tons of albums out, tons of singles out, been featured in a lot of other songs, featured on the Northern Bar Hip Hop Central playlist. His latest success, one of his big songs, Cocaine Cadillac, hitting over 225,000 streams. Style and lyrical flavor, the influence with Southern hip hop culture. I felt this when I heard
I-35. Yeah.
It gave me that like Paul Wall feel, vision myself riding low rider, lights all around me into this tune. I got grills on. I'm just chilling.
That's what's up. Well, that's the vibe, bro. So I-35 is the main highway that runs through the state of Texas. So basically that song is like you know what I'm saying? I'm paying homage to the highway that we used to ride through it all the time, you know? So, you know, I'm riding down I-35, bro.
Yo, that's so sick, because even the lyrics, candy paint dripping off the ride. Like,
yes, sir, bro. Got to represent for all my Southern boys. Them boys fuck with that car culture heavy down there in Texas, man.
Yeah. So look, before we get into this, let myself and all the viewers know a little bit more about Smooth. Been putting in work for a really long time. You got a lot of albums out.
Yeah.
I want you to let me know, first and foremost, you got music in your background?
I did find out that my grandfather on my mother's side always wrote and kept like poetry journals. So in a sense, he did write rhymes. And I didn't even find that out till after he passed away. So it was something that was pretty cool to learn about my family. But as far as having like a bunch of musical cousins or uncles or anything like that I grew up around, I can't say that I did.
Yeah. So you would say it was something that you just had within you. Were you inspired by maybe some shows or anybody that you heard, or maybe hanging around with people that are much more older than you?
Yeah, I think
for the first time.
I think it heavily had to do with moving to Texas at such a young age, and the area that I ended up in, specifically just being in like that part of Texas during that specific time. When I moved to Texas, it was 2001, which is basically the same year that DJ Screw died. So wow. It was monumental to the state of Texas at that time, just the music shift that was happening. I got there pretty much at the time when no one in Toronto knew who Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Mike Jones, or any of those guys were. But I was learning that music when I got there at age 11, 12, 13. I was being schooled to music that probably the people at my age in Toronto were probably listening to more like New York style rap. You know what I mean? Like the Nas and the Immortal Techniques and those type of lyricists. But
right.
I think that was heavily what inspired me and influenced me just to be in the hip hop urban culture in general, just being in it. You know what I mean? My mom moved us straight into the hood in a town called Brownwood, Texas, with a population of about 18,000 people. You know what I'm saying? I went from Toronto 6 million, the GTA 6.5 million to 20,000 people where everybody knows everybody. So it was like, it was pretty culture shocking.
For sure, for sure. And what age did you move back to Texas?
So I was born in Toronto. I moved to Texas at age 11, and I came back to Toronto at around age 18 or 19.
Okay, so you spent some good quality time in Texas.
I lived in Texas for about 8 years, 7.5, 8 years. So, and they were monumental years. Those are the years when, like, I think like a man, especially from 11 to 17, that's like the time when a man finds himself and discovers who he is. You know what I mean? From birth to about 10 or 11, your family tells you who you are and instills values and instills culture in you. From 11 and on, you're kind of discovering who you are amongst yourself. You know what I mean? So
right. And do you have other siblings?
I have all kinds of siblings, man. I'm one of 5.
Okay. In regards to your siblings, is there anybody else that has, you know, music inspiration or anything, or is it just yourself?
So the sister that's the closest in age to me, she's dabbled here and there with recording music, but she's more so was into dance. She was heavily like into hip hop choreography and hip hop dance. So we were always kind of in and around the hip hop world. She was more in the dance world. I was more in the engineering recording world, but we were always into the hip hop scene in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just in overall, you guys were just both creatives. You know what I mean? So when did that music inspiration hit that you said you want to go for it and make music?
I'm on the road, back on the wall, I'm on my own, yeah. Life is so hard, what should I do? I just don't know, yeah. Trying so hard, don't want to fail, it's hurting my soul, yeah. Nothing to do, no one to call, nowhere to go, yeah. I'm on the road, back on the wall, I'm on my own, yeah.
Well, I was writing, like in Texas, I was already writing. I didn't have like the first little wave when I was there. I wasn't really recording or anything. When I came back to Toronto, the first time I actually came back to Toronto was for a little window of about 1.5 years when I was about 14. And that was when I recorded my first song, like my first actual, I had it like written properly, hooks, verses laid out, you know, I'm ready, I'm ready, throw me in, coach. Like I had my shit ready to go. So that was the first time I got to hear my voice come out of a speaker properly mixed down, you know what I'm saying? After that, honestly, bro, it was a wrap from that moment. I didn't start recording albums from that moment, but I knew from that first time I heard myself come out of the speakers, like this is something I'm gonna pursue avidly, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I mean, it could have gone the other way, bro. I could have had a binders full of shit. I could have recorded and I just heard myself come out the speakers and been like, hell no.
Fuck it.
And, you know what I mean? But
yeah, no, for sure.
It's been years, man. It's been years, bro.
For sure. And that's how it starts. It all starts by giving something a try and seeing how you feel about it, seeing if your soul reacts to it how it should. And it obviously did.
Right? Pretty much, man. Like, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, for sure. And so right after that step, what was your thought process on how you're going to approach the music industry? Were you at that point just thinking to yourself, let me just write singles, let me just continue going to the studio? Because at this point, I assume you had other engineers recording.
Yeah. So at that point, I actually moved back to Texas at around 15 or so. Like right after I recorded that first track, I moved back to Texas. And dude, I was in a situation where I don't have my social security, like American social security, so I can't work legally in America. I'm there going couch to couch from homeboy to homeboy's house, performing, doing shows every weekend to make money, and we're using that money to pay our rent and hustling to pay our rent and just thugging it out, bro. Just trying to make ends meet, just me and a couple of homeboys. And we did that for about 2.5 years. And it got to the point where, you know, the situation just basically burned itself out. Like there was no more juice left in the rag to wring out. So I packed it up. I came on a Greyhound. I moved back to Toronto. But with the knowledge that I was picking up from throwing shows consistently back to back, it basically got to the point where when I came back to Toronto, I just completely had a different mindset than most of the people that were 18, 19 trying to do this rap shit in Toronto. I came back straight from Texas and started throwing events like right off the rip. As soon as I came back from Texas, I had like 5-6 events that I threw myself, went to the venue, booked it, booked security, booked DJs, put other artists on the bill, printed tickets, sold tickets, you know, basically hosted the whole event myself, and then rapped on top of it. And we did that for months, bro. And then it got to the point where, I mean, I wouldn't call it running a label, because it was by no means a label, but at that time we had a little collective of artists that we considered ourselves a label at the time, that I was pretty much the guy that was engineering, doing the videos, doing the photos, and promoting all these artists at the same time at age 19, bro. You know what I mean? And then it just got to the point where I was like, yo, I could be putting all that energy into my own craft. And a lot of my art was falling on the back burner. A lot of my stuff was going, you know what I mean? So I basically had a lot of falling outs, a lot of bridges got burned, whatever, you know, say here, whatever, but it's for a reason, and everything goes the way it's supposed to go, man.
You booking a Greyhound, coming back to Toronto at that age, throwing these events from the ground up, that just means that you got something within you, like it's in your blood, it's in your DNA, that you're just a straight up hustler. Like you're a go-getter, man. Like that's fucking amazing, man.
Much love, bro. Yeah, that shit made me an animal, bro. Like going couch to couch, and honestly, like when people say the term "I'm starving," like when I hear that term in passing, when I just hear people on the street hungry, like the dude is hungry, you know what I'm saying? You're with your homeboys, you're chilling, you're hungry, and somebody says, "Yo, bro, I'm starving right now." That shit boils my blood, because I know what it feels like to starve, bro. So when I hear those words, it's like, yo, I don't take that shit lightly. You know what I mean? Yeah, those are those things that hit my soul like strings, bro. Like real shit.
Yeah, that shit must hit different for sure. Especially the fact that you've been through it and you know it. So it's like, what is hunger to you? Because I know what hunger really means. You know what I mean? Like,
it basically what I made. I say that to say this. It made me into a fucking animal, bro. It made me into an animal. It made me want this. Like I need air. Like I need to succeed in this industry, and not because I'm trying to get into the industry and the industry have its holds on me, but because I know what I'm destined to do. I know the talent that's in myself.
That shit is inspiring, and that's the reason why we're about to hit this record. Donatello. Nowadays, I'm sipping on the yellow. What's that about?
So, not a lot of people talk about sipping syrup and sipping lean and shit, but bro, like I grew up in Texas, bro. Like, first of all, that's where that shit started. Second of all, there's levels to this shit. When it comes to like actual syrup, there's different colors that are different levels and basically different. It's a different drug, really and truly, when it comes down to it. They're all opiates, if you really want to break it down and talk about what people are sipping in the cup. But the yellow one is called Tussin X. So you have the yellow, you have the orange, you have the red, you got the perp. The purple. There's different levels to the drink, right? So
the commercial one.
The commercial one everybody knows was the purple drink. That's the one everybody was after, right? Well, back in the day when I was in Texas, my just so happened to be my favorite was the yellow one. So I would just said, nowadays I ain't sipping the yellow. Weed smoke only thing keep me mellow. Purple bandana like Donatello, which is the fucking, obviously the purple Ninja Turtle.
Jeez! Hard! Woo! Machiavelli with a vision. Fire. That's a fire tune. Rap about real life shit that you've gone through.
And for the record, I don't sip lean anymore. I just want people to really to understand that. Like that's something I want people to understand. Like I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like
well
I put it in my music and I rap about it because it's something that heavily influenced my culture as an artist. It's something that I was around a lot as an artist, but it's not something that I want to push, and I want fucking young bucks that are watching me to think I need to sip some syrup. Hell nah, bro. That ain't it, chief. That ain't it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I assumed you'd fucked with it back in the day. You're done with it now. Like, what's your journey with that? Like, it's.
I'll be 100% real with you. What really brought me to a 100% halt with it is I had a dude in Texas that was basically somebody I considered a brother. One of the dudes that I went couch to couch with. It was the final destination where I ended up, where we made this collective of artists. Homeboy passed away from an overdose of sipping lean, bro. So when that happened, and I was in Toronto when it happened, and I couldn't go back for the funeral, I couldn't be, you know what I mean? So when that happened, bro, it completely changed my whole outlook on a whole lot of shit. And that day I stopped dead, bro. I don't sip lean. I don't fuck with none of that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I smoke weed. I smoke weed, obviously, but we live in Canada. That's the equivalent of smoking a cigarette, you know?
Better.
Fact. Big facts.
Straight up. First off, that's great. That's great that you're moving on from that kind of stuff. It's sad that, sometimes shit has to happen to really change our perspective on certain things. And that's the reality of it. So, that being said, you have been making a lot of music. You do record on your own. You got a dope studio in your own house.
Yes, sir.
Why did that come about? Why did you decide to buy, all your equipment and decide to do some engineering at your house? Because there's a lot of rappers that is going to watch this and say, fuck, why am I not buying my equipment? Why am I not engineering on my own? And they probably would want to know, how do you know how to engineer? So like, spill a little bit of that, for us.
So reason number one I started engineering for myself was because I went to so many studios over the course of my career, or my music longevity, that no one ever gave me back a mix that sounded exactly like I wanted it. I could never achieve, no engineer was able to achieve exactly what my ears craved, if that makes sense. Only when I sat and I finally learned the programs and I finally learned how to mix my own voice, what was I able to achieve the sound that I've been able to achieve, man. The way I was able to learn engineering was like multiple different avenues. I sat with engineers in studios. I would literally shadow them, sit over their shoulder. When I would hear something that they did that I wanted to know what they were doing, I would say, hey, what did you just do? What was that little dope thing you just did to my voice? I want to know that, you know what I mean? And any engineer that was willing to let me pick their brain, I did. Other than that, YouTube is your best friend, my G. Hella tutorials, bro. I literally bought every program that was available to me at the market, or pirated programs at the time when I was broke. You know what I'm saying? I had homeboys that were willing to give it to me. Whatever the case was, I had the programs. And yeah, bro, YouTube was my best friend, dude. I literally just tutorials, racked my brain. And then application. It's not just learning, it's about applying it. So I had to actually learn all these skills and then actually record music through trial and error, learn what effects work in tune with what kind of song, what kind of voice do I have to use to get this type of reverb to do the particular sound I'm trying to achieve. How do I achieve such clarity on my voice? It really comes down to learning EQs and just really learning about sound in general and the way that sound works. And it's some nerdy ass shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. For the average rapper, it's some shit that it's like, man, I'm not trying to do all that. I'll tell you the honest to God truth. For the most part, most of my homeboys, even that rap, they say to me, as far as I'm concerned, after I finish recording my verse, my work is done in the studio. That's how they look at it. And it's like, man,
straight up.
Whereas me, I want to have a hand in everything, bro. Like, I want to write the song, record the song, mix the song. I want to write the video treatment. I want to direct the video. On the set, I want to be directing and then switch to the rapper guy. And then I want to edit the motherfucking video. And then I want to send it off to color correction and probably sit with the guy while he's doing it.
Yo, that's crazy. Like, you literally want control with your whole vision. Not a lot of people give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, some people just want to go in the studio, lay their verse and dip.
You know the saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, and I don't mean to hate on nobody. Like, I've worked with some incredible artists, like, as far as visual art, like videographers, photographers. I've worked with some incredible artists that have all given me incredible work. But you could ask them the same way. They'll all tell you the same thing. Smooth always wanted to have his hand in it. Smooth always wanted to be present for whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not some guy that'll just be like, yeah, just shoot me, send me the edit, and we'll talk later. Nah, bro, hell no.
You want to be hands-on. You want to be there. You want to be that creative.
Yeah, I want to be
pioneer behind your work. That's awesome.
Fully involved in my creative vision, 100%, man. Fully involved.
For the people watching, let's put a clip of one of your music videos. What's your favorite music video? What's something that you want to share with the people right now? Something that you directed, something that you feel like just goes hand in hand, you know, what we're talking about right now.
I believe my best project visually to date would be the video Nightlife that I did. That video was 100% directed, like pretty much by me. Every single shot was written out completely before we had the camera involved. That was a huge team effort though. Like I got to shout out to my guy Xerox out in Detroit/Cleveland. Did all the shooting, and then had another dude that came out and did some drone footage shots. That dude was also pretty dope. So the combination of that, I sat with my homeboy Cream, who also produced the track. So that's another thing is like most of my team, multi-talented and multifaceted. The dude who produced the beat is also an incredible video editor and an incredible graphic designer extraordinaire, dude. Like the guy's fucking incredible.
It's amazing. Yo, so let's drop a little clip. Check this out.
Bring lights. I'm so sick of the nightlife. Demons come out at nighttime. I put it all on the line. In the kitchen, I was whipping work. I did it all for the shine. I had to get this shit out the dirt. And I bet a lot on my mind. Had to muscle through a lot of hurt. Just channel my thoughts and the rhymes. In the darker where the demons lurk. I'm trying to walk by the light, but I'm only alive in the night. With my team about to hop on a flight. And the skies is dark on my spray. Had to lay off for popping the pills. Some of y'all need to stop it for real. Pump the break, take a second to chill. But if that's supposed to happen, it will. Did a lot of drugs, hung around with thugs. Who am I to judge? Used to be the plug. I still got the juice, man. I'm dripping sauce. Lay awake at night, dream to be the boss.
Dope video, dope visual. Shout out to everybody that had added a little twist into that video. Can you let them know right now where they can find this song?
This track is available across all audio streaming platforms. You find it on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Weezer, Deezer, all of them things, man. Everywhere music is digitally sold. Also, the video's available on YouTube as well as all the rest of them. Subscribe, hit the notifications, all them things, bro.
All right, and that leads me to say, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? How smooth? What's poppin'? It took me a year to put my album together, man. Like, before you would ever settle, man. Like, y'all gotta stop and listen. Why I stopped it. The game has changed. You know, there's a song coming out every week. There's an album coming out every month. And so, you know, when I heard What's Poppin' remix by Smooth, that line really hit home because I said, like, yo, dude, the dude is really fucking trying to make a masterpiece before he just lays out all these albums. Because I know you got a bunch of tracks just stored in your fucking Mac, but you're not going to release it all. You want to make sure that shit comes out 100. So 1 year to get an album together, that's fire, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, honestly, real talk. Like, I'm basically what it comes down to is, man, I'm a perfectionist, bro. I want it to be 100% exactly my vision before the public or before any of my fans or any type of audience is going to get to hear it. For me, music is powerful, man. Music has a lot of energy involved and a lot of energy attached to it. So I want, if I have any type of control and I'm the captain of this boat, as far as my brand is concerned, I want people to understand that the energy I'm trying to put out, like it's something that I'm really trying to fine tune and craft to hit them in a certain way, man. Like to speak on what you said before about the game's changing, man, like the game has changed into a quantity over quality. And that's the problem. People, like you said, people are dropping a track a week, and that's cool, bro. If you're dropping hard bars and fire, if you've recorded it in a way where you have it lined up to set a week, every single week you're dropping a banger. Hey, bro, all power to you. I respect the hustle. I respect the brand, and yo, kudos to that guy. But if you're gonna drop terrible shit just for the sake of, yes, I'm releasing content, and now we're calling artists, people that are doing actual art, content creators, and we're calling their art content. Imagine calling Picasso a content creator, and calling his paintings content.
Yeah, it's all
Like,
fun now, man.
It's crazy, bro. It's gotten into a crazy zone, man. So it's just like people don't realize that this whole creating music shit, like it makes you into a vulnerable person, man. It makes you into a vulnerable soul, because you're constantly putting your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions out there for people to basically judge on the internet, bro. and it's crazy.
And then to add to that, Smooth, like you drop a song, people want to hear like the first 60 seconds of it.
Yeah.
And boom.
Attention spans are done. Yeah.
Attention span is so small and micro these days that it's, you know, just the fact that everyone's a rapper now. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Everyone's a rapper now. Everyone's a rapper. It doesn't matter what age.
You're right.
And so what happens is those people are just putting out tons of viral TikTok songs because that's just the way to get in the game. It leads to my next question, where it's like, I'm pretty sure you know, as an artist, must be frustrated at this point where it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm putting my heart and soul and writing bars, because you write like real good music. They should be listening to like the real inspirational messages that you're giving out. But instead, it's like
it's gotten hard, bro. It really has, and 100%, you hit the nail on the head, bro. It's gotten frustrating. It's gotten to the point where it's just like, what do I got to do to reach the audience? Like, what do I have to do? Do I got to become chair girl and throw some shit off a balcony in order to, you know what I mean? Like, what does it come to at this point?
Yeah.
But at the same time, bro, like, I also respect myself and my self-value, and what I got into this for. The original reason I started rapping was for the love of it, bro. And that's what I'm trying to get back to, is just creating the music that I originally loved to listen to, give people the type of music that I would want to jam if I'm riding around in my car. If I'm jamming, I'm looking at the city skyline, I'm riding on, you know what I mean? I'm on the highway at night, I got the lights shining. What kind of shit what kind of vibe do I want to create for people to jam? That's what I'm trying to do, you know what I mean? So if I can create that type of vibe, then that's what I'm gonna do, bro. But if people want that wild ass shit, bro, it is what it is, man. The way I look at it, everything is designed to happen the way it is, bro. I've been blessed to have already touched some stages with some huge numbers. I've been blessed for some of my songs to reach the numbers that they have. And I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing, bro. I'm just gonna continue making music that I love to make. Connecting with the fans that I have made, connecting with the fans that continue to engage with the stuff that I do put out on the regular. And that's it, bro. I just hope that through doing little interviews and through podcasts and things like that, that it'll introduce me possibly to new audiences, and that's it, bro. That's basically the way that I'm pursuing it. I have no intention of selling myself out at any point to do some crazy nonsense. You won't catch Smooth stomping on some car downtown trying to get some clout, trying to be the next the next weirdo, bro. That ain't me, bro.
I'm with you on that. Also, Smooth, with What's Poppin', you said, if I'm ever dropping my towel, I'll be like Val Venus. He dropped that bar. Check this shit out, man. Vibe with it.
The color they looking like Biggie sweater, that's a Gucci. That's how they produced me. I had to hop on the remix. I never throwing the towel. Dropping the towel, I'm feeling like Val Venus. I'm stunning bitch Steve Austin.
What they need to do is go check out that Verbal Abuse on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? The video is available. Shout out my producer, Dally J. Shout out Shot by Solo, one of the most dope videographers / photographers in Canada, period. End of story, hands down. I got to shout out my guy, because this guy is honestly one of the most incredible artists that I've ever worked with, bro. He just went to BC and just shot like I want to call it a documentary, but the damn shit felt like watching a movie. It was like a mini movie about just being in BC, bro. Like just traveling from the different parts of BC around. And it was incredible, bro. So shout out to my boy Solo, like absolutely incredible. He shot the video Verbal Abuse. So go check that out on my YouTube right now. Yeah.
I'ma jump in it like whoa. But I burn this shit down one time. They can tell you a story of an underground rapper. Come with me, let's travel through time. 13 when I laid my first rhyme. When I was 23, that was 10 year running. Sitting on the edge right down by the water, got my mind wide open so the thought keep coming. When I was 16, no food in my stomach, closet full of drugs and a cup full of muddy. Got acquainted with the dirty family, so that's probably why all my habits scummy like yo. Homie been a 7 since birth. Be a 7 so they put me in a hearse.
Song is fire, Smooth. Video is even more fuego. Jeez.
Beast mode, all 2021, bro.
God damn. And so let us know what your creative process looks like.
For the most part, my recording process goes like this. My producer will send me a bunch of beats, usually unmixed, like a raw beat that hasn't even been fully tuned yet. I'll go through those beats and I'll usually create concepts. I'll write down all my thoughts, blah, 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 blah. Then I'll go through and actually open up the program and sit with it by myself, nobody around. I'll smoke a blunt and I'll put each beat on one by one and I'll go through and actually see how my voice sounds sonically on the beat through my headphones. So I can actually catch a vibe and be like, my voice sounds good on this one. You know what I mean? And once I find the one that I'm vibing with that day, I usually record a little rough version, if you will, of what it's going to be. I send that off to my producer and he'll mix the beat according to what I record. So say I send him something that's just bars, like rapping, no auto-tune, just straight up recorded lyrics. He'll mix the beat according to that to leave the type of room that I need for that. If what I send him is now something with auto-tune and very melodic, he'll make the beat more spacey and have more reverb. You know what I mean? So we kind of want to create the final mix of the beat based on what I'm going to do in the song. And then for the actual final mix or the final recording session, once we have a song kind of materialized like that, he'll come over. My producer, Dally J, will usually come over and he'll record the final. He'll track me or I'll track myself. And then we'll work on the mix together. So he'll sit there with the beat, all the stems open, and we'll work on the mix together and take things out, do drops, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. He's an incredible artist, man. Shout out to my boy Dally J for sure, man.
What about your writing process?
Mostly it's in the morning. Like when I first wake up in the morning, when I have that first like smoke, when I first I'll smoke a spliff first thing in the morning or something. I'll have that first coffee. That's when my thoughts just feel the most fresh. Like when I hear that beat for the first time, you still got that little grogginess in your throat, so you're feeling yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So those are the times that I find generally. But I'm all over the place, bro. Like I could honestly say too, I like to write in the car. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
It's always been something. I think it's because you're surrounded by the sound of the music, and it's just like you feel like boxed in.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
You got all the views of everything in the world around you, and you could really take shit in and actually write. So yeah, I vibe with that as well. It really just comes down to like where I'm at. I've wrote in the studio before. Like I've been there to record my own projects. Someone pulled up and been like, yo, Smooth, do you want to get on this song? And I didn't have something prepared for it, so I'll write it on the spot type of situation. I usually never write at the studio, but in that type of scenario, I would. So that's happened before. So I can write anywhere. It's not a matter of where, you know what I mean? But if it comes down to like, what would I like if I had my ideal situation and I'm going to work with another artist, I always ask them to send me the track, either with the open verse or just send me the beat, so I can sit with it by myself. I'll vibe with the beat for a few days, and I'll usually just jot down words or little phrases that I know I want to say, things I know I want to include on the record. And then it just builds from there, bro. It just turns from words and phrases to full bars and full 4-bar phrases. And before you know it, I got a track, bro.
Jeez. A lot of artists can't do that. They can't write on the spot. It takes months, weeks to write. My question is to you is like, yo, can you give us a little taste, a little something, like a little freestyle or, a little something, something for the people, for the Beyond the Views podcast?
Yeah, man, I got you, bro. I could definitely do something. I could definitely give y'all a little taste, a little something.
Little taste, yo. Yo, exclusive Beyond the Views podcast. You know that.
Hey, go like something like this, man. This how I get rid of my anger. When the homie mad, you in danger. And I just been chasing the bag, protected by all of my guardian angels. And I just been doing the right thing. So you feel the light in my right ting. My pen is a bolt of some lightning. When you fighting demons, it's frightening. Man, a soldier of light got his sword drawn. And he put his heart on the whole song. They see an image and make up the rest. But I know that half of these hoes wrong. They don't know shit about me. They probably doubt me. They don't know shit. So tell them to stay from around me. Cause the energy bad and I don't want mono cloudy. It's just me and my day ones, and I say it proudly. I've been all in my feelings. Walking through life, I'm searching for meaning. My soul has been healing. I hope that you hearing the message I'm hearing. I transfer my spirit. Tune on the beat, the 808 banging. I hope that you hear it. For the ones that dwell up in the dark, man, I hope that you fear it. Hey.
So what can I do? These people get paid for devilish ways, and y'all the one giving them all of the views. I don't see nothing but snakes. These rappers are ways, they giving y'all verbal abuse. Back in the boot, I got that telling the truth. They leading my people astray, they twisting the mind of the youth. So what can I do? These people get paid for devilish ways, and y'all the one giving them all of the views. I don't see nothing but snakes. These rappers are ways, they giving y'all verbal abuse.
Shout out my Texas boys. All I do is sharpen my sword.
So I'm ready for any fight. Smooth, I'm hearing this shit. I'm bored.
I appreciate that shit, bro.
I appreciate
that you catch it, man.
I-35 fire fucking track.
Well, since you fucking with that Texas shit, make sure y'all go check out that Styrofoam produced by the homie Cream. That's another, heavily Texas influenced joint. Got the Styrofoam cups heavily in effect. Got the bad bitches on deck, you know what I'm saying, for all the eye candy purposes. And yeah, man, check it out, bro. We gonna play a clip right about now.
I put my heart on a song when I be thinking of you, even though it won't bring you back, I went to your grave, pour me a shot, and I pour one for you, even though it won't bring you back.
Guys, go check that music video out. Smooth's YouTube. Go subscribe right now too.
Yes, sir. Just youtube.com, smooth416, man. You already know what it is. If you have a hard time finding it through YouTube, you can always search one of the song titles: Smooth Nightlife, Smooth Styrofoam, Smooth Verbal Abuse. Any of those available. If not, if all else fails, you can always check my Instagram at smooth416. Click the link in my bio, and all of my links are available there. You'll be able to find all my digital music, all my music videos on YouTube, my link to my merch as well. You can cop some merch. So all of that's available, man, for sure.
Real loud. That verse is incredible. Those cups hanging 3D and fucking in front of you, beside you, around you, which we're going to drop a clip.
This one, Smooth, real loud.
Real loud, double cup or a little loud. Couple lovers didn't make it out, so the more you shine, all I'm thinking about. Ain't no number in the bank account that could bring them back when they in the clouds. Ain't no shirt but an RP that could bring them back when they in the ground. 6-sided and 30 south, all black when we write it now. Eyes closed, never nothing out. Mine was lost, but I got it now.
So first and foremost, I got to shout out the homie Justin Alexis of That Good Graphic. He was the complete visual creative director of that video. He has his own YouTube channel called That Good Graphic, which basically showcases Toronto artists and artists from Canada, basically. And I happen to be one of them. He reached out to me and asked if I had anything that I wanted to release. I happen to have my album dropping within the next couple weeks. So it lined up that the release of the Real Loud visuals that he put together would coincide with the release of my album. So I felt that it worked out perfectly. We got together, and basically I showed up to the set, man. He told me he had an idea with some cups. He didn't really tell me a whole lot of what his exact idea was, but when I showed up to the set, it was basically what y'all just watched, which was basically he told me it took him about 4 to 6 hours to hang the cups from different levels, different just distances from each other to create that effect of just depth and depth perception and depth of field that it really just makes you feel like you're somewhere where cups are floating all around you. It actually really visually, I think it made the song pop in a way that maybe it wouldn't have otherwise. I would have loved to shot a full video for it, but I really love what he did with it for sure.
No, song is fucking fire regardless. Music is fire too. It had that purple feeling because I know Smooth is all about that purple vibes.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, sick video, sick drip, everything about that. It was so fucking dope. I hope y'all enjoyed it because I know I did.
Wait for me to talk through me, put my heart on the song now. I put my heart on the song when I be thinking of you, even though it won't bring back, even though it won't bring back. I went to your grave, pour me a shot, and I pour one for you.
What's really dope is that Smooth was reviewed by Adam22, which is fucking amazing. How did it feel? How did it feel to get Adam22, somebody that's in the culture, to have somebody like him at his caliber in the hip hop industry to listen to your song?
It was honestly a dope experience for sure, bro. Like basically the guy Justin Alexis who shot it, I believe he submitted it to one of Adam22's like review shows that he does where he'll review a bunch of different artists. So he sent me the clip. I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't know nothing about it, bro. He sent it to me and I was as shocked as my homeboys were when they seen it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a super dope and super humbling experience just to see, like you said, see the same guy that you watch on No Jumper interviewing all these rappers. Yeah, he's watching your video and reviewing it, and he said he fucked with the track. He said he liked it. He said, you know what I'm saying? So it was dope, man. It was a cool experience for sure.
Shout out to Adam22. Let the people know. Let the people know.
Hey man, to all the young bucks that look up to me and all the young bucks listening right now, I really want to say to this, the most important thing, if I say nothing else, if I die tomorrow, I want y'all to know that the working man is the tough guy. Okay? Too many people out here concerned with being a hard motherfucker in these streets, corrupting themselves, surrounding themselves with people that really don't give a fuck about them, surrounding themselves with negative energy, surrounding themselves with situations that they don't need to be in. The working man is the tough guy. Put yourself in a situation where your dreams can only be achieved through hard work. If your hard work is not the only way you can achieve your dreams, then them ain't the dreams you need to be having, homeboy. Really and truly, I know a lot of people that would really like to take the easy route and really like to just, for lack of a better term, sell their soul. But we ain't finna do all that, homeboy. We ain't finna do all that. We soldiers of the light. We soldiers of the light, soldato della luce. You understand me? At the end of the day, man, all you young bucks and all the people looking up to me, bro, I want to shout out the dudes that inspire me. Besides music, the people that inspired me were the men in my life that made it through the fire. The people that aspired to do things after making it through the raptures. I got to shout out my homeboys like the J. Clues that made it through addictions and started their own construction companies. The dudes like my grandfather that came to Canada from Portugal at age 19 with $0 in his pocket and had a grandson like me that's able to be a fucking rapper. You feel me? Shout out to the working man. I say all that to say this. The working man is the tough guy. You understand me?
That's a fact.
The working man.
Well said, Smooth. Everybody listening know what it is. Smooth killed it. Well said. Thank you for the raps. Thank you for the motivation, inspiration. All these artists that are listening right now know that anything is possible. You just got to put in the work. That's what it comes down to, is just putting the work. And you're a good example of that. It's just a matter of time. I know that you're enjoying your music. You're enjoying your craft. I love your music. I want to say thank you so much, Smooth, for coming on the Beyond the Views podcast.
Me, brother. Thank you so much for having me, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Your boy Tito in the building. We got Smooth in the building. Episode 14, Beyond the Views podcast, the #1 podcast. You know that. Yo, where that glass breaking?